He's like, not that one. Hover me a new one. Nope, not that one. Definitely not that one.
I think he's playing Gnar. He's going to lock it in. And so no value.
Actually, the most important point, which I forgot to mention, Maokai. The first pick Maokai that's been banned in the first couple of games for a good reason. They gave it over to GENG, and it just doesn't feel like T1.
Oh, man. I mean, he has a 5-letter name. I couldn't quite do it exactly the way, but, you know, it's 2 syllables.
Makes sense. Okay, we're getting in there on the Oner, who does smite away the Scuttle. He's trying to get over to the speed here, but the flash isn't really going to get him into a safe spot. There's not a lot of damage between these two, but they finally do get the job done.
Faker actually forced to back now with no teleport. Feels very awkward. He can stick around, and Oner once again caught out.
Well, the blast plant is there, but he's super low, and Delight's actually here now as the shield does come down, but it looks like just a fed kill over to Peyz as Oner is going to go down. A fed kill over to Peyz as Oner is going to go down.
We saw some small errors from him on the Kazakhs, and not having his best night of League of Legends here, as he is going to secure the smite, but then awkwardly caught in a position where there's not great flash angle, and Zeus doesn't come down to bail him out. Like, Zeus just says, no, man, you're done. And like, he flashes towards Zeus, but Zeus is just not going to help him. There's not much he could do.
You have a Corki in mid. You can't fight for that either, so he was just trying to get out, but it was just way too late. And then they're definitely like screaming, okay, he has no flash, feed it to Zeri.
And if Chovy snowballing down,
yeah, it is a bit. We had a mini Zeri moment, not a real one, just a kill, as now just walking in, nearly smites it away to Peanut. Looks like he didn't quite have it, actually, so just going to be another Oner death. They do get the Mountain Drake, but this is very Enter Treasure Hunter, right? Now just Doran and Delight need one, as Peyz is getting run down here. He's going to get knocked up. That is a dead Zeri, if I've ever seen one, as Delight now trying to extend this one as Peanut is making his... And Peanut, this is what he does best. He gets a lead in the jungle matchup, and he punishes. He's getting in onto Oner now. He has his own red buff, and Oner's just trying to secure a red buff of his own at this point. So does land the smite, and now they're turning this one as Peanut not really in a position, doesn't have a way to get out, as that's a kill actually going over to Peanut, maybe going too far, as now Keria making his way in. The Emperor's Divide, but it's 2v4, and Doran is kind of left to the Wolves here. He doesn't have his flash just yet, but it's very close, as he is just going to dash his...
And as they will be able to take this Herald topside. Meanwhile, Keria has 6.
Trying to make a play here on a Delight, but he is going to crash down away as Peyz gets charmed up, and he doesn't have any summoners. The Zeri ult comes out, but it is too little too late. 2 kills go to Guma. I don't know if we're going to go bot, even though the Rift Herald is already dead.
And Keria is on a control ward with level 6. Like, there's just... And the objective is to deny the ward clear, perhaps. With Delight not having level 6, there's just no winning this one. There's not even... I mean...
Could be a big difference maker in this fight. Keria looking for the angle from the left side. They're going to get in onto the Rel, actually. Delight just gets 100-0, but that's the support. As now Doran coming in from behind. Zeus trying to make a big play here onto Zeri and will take him out. And now it's 5v3 in favor of T1. They have the damage. They take out the Renekton, and Chovy is alone versus like 8,000 people. It's a double kill now for Guma, as T1 will take down the fight.
Oh man, T1, Zeus an impact on that turnaround. So Faker's here on the flank as well, trying to layer in some damage, and they're trying to put GENG essentially on a clock here on this hold of the aggro. And we talked about what's the only follow-up you really have to the Sejuani ult? It's the Rakan. Keria hits that perfectly. Doran's on the flank here. Notice how they kite to this choke point. He gets the first dash. Then when Zeus comes in, he dashes back towards Peyz to try to maybe turn this and win this fight. But there's too much damage in this Gnar. Like, he's actually straight up a secondary AD carry to the Gumayusi Xayah, who's already pretty big for outer. They're going to try to heavily commit to get that inner gold, and they're set up for this.
Yeah. Definitely can just try to siege this. The Sedge ult comes out, but the follow-up from the Maokai. Guma just going to cleanse, just to be safe. Ult here from Keria, going to catch Chovy, and again, he's just going to be burst down as the Rel goes in just to die. As, man, that is a very nice setup here from T1, and they're just catching GENG bit by bit as now Doran, yeah, he's pushing, but Faker can just TP in.
Yeah, and because Doran didn't have teleport, there was nothing he could have done about this play. This could just be an early inhib if they want to commit to it. Freak is going to get woken up by this if they actually do kill it post or pre-20. he's gonna actually lose it, but look, it's going to be a ton of permanent map control basically for T1. Turret outer and mid. There's no bot at all, and this is the call to go on to the Azir. As like basically Keria, he sees the angle and he calls it out. The flash is so beautiful, and I mean this is just from the regular perspective here now after Keria's play, and then Zeus just goes in here and pulls Peanut basically max range. There's nothing Peyz can do. He's sitting on a shiv.
So much of the carry potential on the side of Gen G is just gone. Is Guma going to pull back some feathers? Man, they are really ripping into them now as the Maokai ultimate is going to come out, but easy feather storm now for Guma, who is immensely fed, and now the flank is going to come in. Gen G, they keep trying to opt into this fight, and they're just getting killed over and over, as now T1 is 4v1. Chovy is alone. He's just going to be taken out eventually. Down he will go. Oner takes it, and Peyz wasn't even there. I mean, it should be Baron for T1.
It's like the game Lemmings, you know, if you're just going to wash our most one-sided game yet in this series, it looks like here. I mean, look at the siege setup here for T1. Keria decides, okay, they set up the feathers, I'm going to follow up. Like, Guma sets up Keria, and Keria just smashes a home run here. Peanut is dead on arrival. Ends up getting caught by the Sejuani ult, but he was going to die no matter what. And then Chovy shows up super late here to hit nobody and just go down.
I guess he got that 900 gold shutdown. Blade call a root and get away, but that's okay. Engage comes in from Gen G. They finally pull the trigger. This is pretty nice, but Faker is going to get away, and it's Guma, who did not get gauged upon, of course. He is the Xayah, gets flashed on, presses his R button, and T1 looks like they should stop this first game, although Peyz is going to get the one kill. Guma eats a hit from the soldier, as now maybe they went a bit too far.
Teleport though from Faker.
Quite strong with a flash over the divide, and it will be enough. T1 playing with fire, but they do get there in the end. They wipe Gen G, and they will take down this game number 3.
And that 18.5 minute inhibitor's down, so there's super minions on the Nexus. It just absolutely destroyed Gen G in this one. And oh man, I don't know if you can mentally recover from 2 losses like that. A narrow loss, obviously, in the second game, but this one, I mean, this was something else. And T1, the crowd is going wild. Guma with the outplays there with Zeus there in that final moment, but Keria on this recon, his follow-up to the Sejuani engages were so good. And I feel like this series is just about T1 being at the right place at the right time, great shot calling, decisive plays on objectives, and who cares about the draft? The draft feels like it doesn't even matter in these cases, but having the Gnar there was another threat, another bit of damage output. Faker, super mobile on the Corki, they almost caught him. He pops that lifeline, zooms out, and the fight is done, it's over. And T1C in that instant, we can win the game right now. Do they walk away? Do they just back out and say, oh, great trade up for us, let's maybe back off and take some objectives? No, that's what T1 does, and when Faker is on the rift with them, they know exactly how far they could push these advantages. And yeah, it looked scary for a moment until it didn't. And Guma does 20,000 damage in this game with the early lead he was gifted by Peyz and Delight.
Yeah, absolutely. That 2v2 diff in the bottom side definitely coming to fruition in a big way in this one. And we talked about all the win conditions, everything you had to do for both teams. Gen G, they're getting wins in drafts, and they are dropping the ball when it comes to the gameplay. T1 certainly outplaying them here, especially.